Don't adjust your television screens because no, Jack the Jobber is away this week with WCPW, so you got me doing SmackDown ups and downs. And let's face it, I've been a lucky boy because SmackDown last night was pretty damn awesome. Feeling very much like one of those shows you get after WrestleMania. There was surprise after surprise, a new face after new face, and now to me, it feels like a new dawn for SmackDown. So who knows what's going to happen going forward, but for now, let's up those downs. SmackDown started off super hot when AJ Styles' music hit, the crowd went nuts, and the still reigning US title champion came down to the ring and he was all like, look at me, I'm the US champion, I'm great. And then he teased that someone new, and there's that word again, we're going to be using that a lot, was about to come to the ring as he said, hey, the open challenge is back. But then Kevin Owens came out instead, which was awesome because that annoyed the fans. Then he cut a really funny and good promo and he was all mad at AJ Styles for what happened to SummerSlam. All this was great and it's getting it up. And it got even better because then he started running down Shane McMahon. So Shane McMahon popped down to the ring. And the long and the short of it was, AJ Styles said, look Kevin, you get one more shot at my title and you can pick the referee. So it looks like Kevin Owens holds all the cards. And who the hell was going to be the referee? It turned out to be Baron Corbin, which was very weird and very strange, especially after Owens had tried to recruit Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was like, no. And then Breezango had asked to do it, and it was very funny, and Kevin Owens said no. And while the match did main event the show, and I'm going to give it an up because I did enjoy it, it was really overly booked, and all the stuff with Baron Corbin, that was really weird. While Big Bazza did try to help Kevin Owens wins by doing all manner of bad things like, fast counts and ignoring things he shouldn't have ignored, eventually Shane McMahon came out again, and he got in Baron Corbin's face. He was like, look Baron, can you start being a good ref? And then Baron was just like, nah. And he threw the shirt at Shane McMahon, and Baron Corbin left, and then Shane McMahon was the referee. This meant AJ Styles did win, he retains his title, and that's it for the Kevin Owens versus Styles feud. And now it looks like we're going into AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin. Now, to be honest, that has to get down. I don't really want to see AJ Styles take on Baron Corbin, but I loved everything they did here, so that made me happy. I'm not going to complain. Awesome start and finish to SmackDown. But then we had the biggest up of the night, so who really cares? As Aiden English was in the ring, being all Aiden Englishy, and then Bobby Roode's music hit, and who is the newest member of SmackDown Live? Well, it's Bobby Roode. If I'd said anybody else there, that'd have been really weird. I built it up to let you know it was going to be Bobby Roode, and it was Bobby Roode. Get it up. Had a quick little match. Roode cut a promo afterwards. This was just awesome. It's great to see him on the main roster, especially if you've been following since like his TNA days. It's almost surreal when that happens. 10 years ago he was in Beer Money or doing whatever he was doing, and now here he is, a prominent part of the WWE. It's crazy. Now, even though the fans loved him, because of course they loved him, it was a debut, his promo did suggest to me that Bobby Roode is a heel. I'm intrigued to see where we go over the next few weeks and months. I don't think he's going to be feuding with Aiden English. I think that was just a way to introduce him here. So who's his man? Who's this guy? Who's he going to go after? This was exciting, I tell you. Even now, with everything we've already had, and this, that Tuesday night show started to feel good. And then just to cement that even further, we cut to backstage. Daniel Bryan was texting, because he's a GM, and that's what GMs have to do. You have to be on the phone or texting, otherwise you're not doing your GM duties. And Chad Gable turned up and he was like, bro, you haven't been treating me right these last few weeks. You got rid of my partner. And what did Daniel Bryan do? He reintroduced Shelton Benjamin. Up. Now, I actually thought it was quite cool that Shelton just walked in backstage and went, all right, it was different, it was nice, it was new. Anyway, they let us know that these two are going to be a team, and I like that for two reasons. One, that is going to be a good team, but two, it tied into all the stuff with Jason Jordan a few weeks ago, because Daniel Bryan said this was the trade-off I had with Kurt Angle. He helped me sign Shelton Benjamin as I gave him Jason Jordan. Thank you, WWE. Thank you for some continuity. Sometimes you don't do that and it makes me sad. This was a massive up though. I've always loved Shelton Benjamin. I probably always will. That is an amazing tag team in a time when SmackDown needed tag teams. Look at this. I mean, WWE have pulled a blinder so far. A blinder. And to follow on from that, WWE definitely do need good tag teams. Because then we had the Usos versus the Hype Bros. And the Usos won in about 3 minutes. Let's get it down. Now, while the match was fine, it was all right, it was dandy, and it was okay, surely, even with a new tag team in Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, we probably could have pushed the Hype Bros a bit more than this, so we had another tag team that maybe the Usos could have taken on properly down the line, as opposed to just throwing it away on SmackDown. Mojo Rawley was doing all right at one point this year, and now he's gone back to being like some bread on the floor that's mouldy and nobody cares. and it's really sad. I mean, I'm sure his mum still loves him, so that's good. Of course she does. I didn't mean to insinuate otherwise. But yeah, I didn't really care for this. Seemed strange, seemed weird. Usos are great, but yeah, it was down. Which then did bring us to the Shinsuke Nakamura versus the Singh brothers handicap match that Daniel Bryan had also made earlier in the night. Now on paper this sounds terrible, but it is getting up. And the reason it's getting up is because Nakamura whooped both their asses, and it was done in about 2 minutes. And that's what we needed here, especially after Nakamura lost on SummerSlam to Jinder Mahal. Here's the problem with all of this though, and this is getting it down because this feud is indeed dragging down Shinsuke Nakamura, and that's nothing against Jinder Mahal. I know he's trying really hard, but it's not exciting. It doesn't feel that good. It doesn't like make me think, oh, this is a great main event feud. And to be honest, what we should be doing is the US title should be here, and the WWE title should be with AJ Styles. If you made that switch, all of a sudden, this would work a lot better. But I can't change that, so indeed, it looks like we're going to get one more match at least between Nakamura and Mahal, and who knows, maybe Shinsuke wins, but at this point, my gut tells me he's going to lose again, and Jinder is going to be champion forever. And then we had a women's tag team match, which like all these things, when they just throw people together, was okay. But I'm going to give it a down because it was just a little bit boring. Naomi and Becky Lynch did defeat Natalya and Carmella, and the whole story here was that Natalya was a bit worried about Carmella with her briefcase, and Carmella was all like, I don't need friends, I hate everybody, and Ellsworth with being Ellsworth. Again, it just felt lackluster. There's nothing over there. I don't know what I looked at, but it felt lackluster, and like they could have done more. Probably could have built the feud a bit better. The faces won, crowd was happy, but still, yeah, as I said, down. As was the return of Dolph Ziggler, because Dolph Ziggler hasn't been on TV for ages. Then he had a backstage interview. He was the same Dolph Ziggler, but he said now he realizes what he needs to get ahead, and he's going to let us know next week. And it was a down. And the reason for this is because the things he hinted at were a robe, a guitar, or maybe he needs a woman. That's actually what he said. They are the words that came out of his mouth. So again, in 7 days' time on SmackDown, he's going to come out with something new, and that's going to change his career. I don't know about you, but I'm a bit worried that this is going to be absolutely terrible. I do want to throw one more down out there, which is actually being unfair, because SmackDown was a great show. I enjoyed it top to bottom. It whooped Raw's ass this week, and Raw was still pretty good anyway. But where was everyone? No Randy Orton, no Rusev, no New Day. What? I get you can't have everybody on the show every week, but you probably should have at least got Rusev on there, because as we know, I love Rusev, but also, he lost really hard. I mean, he lost really hard at SummerSlam. Surely we could have done something here to try and rehab him and show everyone, oh, he is amazing. That's the problem, right? I don't think WWE sees that. That makes me mad. But yeah, sometimes it does suck not to see stars, and I thought at least one of these could have been here. But otherwise, yeah, SmackDown was awesome. We saw loads of new faces. It feels like we're getting a few new feuds. A lot of things progressed, and I enjoyed it massively. I actually think it's one of the best shows I've seen in a while, just because I do love somebody new debuting on a show. And I got two here, so thanks WWE. Made my week. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about all of this. Like, share and subscribe. Go on over to whatculture.com and read some articles about ups and downs for all kinds of things. And follow What Culture on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. My name is Simon from What Culture. I've got a really tired face because I'm really tired. I need to shave and do all this stuff. But I'll see you again soon.